Hello, how you doing?
Okay, I'm Rick.
Chad Briggs, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Hello, Brian.
Hey,
I
Chad.
think I know you.
You know me.
We're rolling, Bridget, so whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay.
I think this is everybody that's coming.
Is it quorum?
Yeah, the four of you make quorum, because you four are voting members. Just
We
me.
just made it.
You were the last one this morning, Joe.
Okay, we'll call to order and do roll call.
Bridget Kelch,
Here.
Joe McGowan,
Here.
Brian Bogue,
Here.
Rick Hop,
Here,
Deanna Fitzgerald, Andrew Clary, Tyler King, Chad Briggs,
Here.
Mark Hydrich, Sarah Skeen.
Here. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can skip over the minutes part and we'll do both minutes on our next meeting.
Okay.
Lots of technical difficulties today.
All right. Be helpful if I was in the
Turn to
right
the right
month
month.
here. Okay, so let's start with 514 West Front Street. Andy?
And I did put a slide together, so I have a picture of what it looks like existing and then the rendering. There you go. Really nice.
Yeah, the issue with the, Andy Understall Construction, owner of 514 Front Street. The issue with the rooftop deck is all the umbrellas and the heaters and everything, the winds comes, it's blowing them all over, so it was, and now that the previous tenant moved out, I'd like to make a few improvements to it, and actually, I may resubmit to cover the whole deck. It's kind of a family argument. They want to do 2/3, I want to do it all, because, just do away with the umbrellas completely. Because it's just, they're really not safe really for one, because every time that, the wind comes up, they're gone, so. We have a bunch of the timber and stuff that we're going to use in there is all recycled lumber that comes from the old Bowen Feed Store for the roof decking and from the flooring from that and the joist. We're going to recycle those and use them for the wood framing, and then everything else will be steel. And then we'll have a TPO roof on the top of it. So anyway, that's kind of our plan, but right now we're going to go with this, and when I find a tenant to see, maybe they don't want anything, maybe they'll be fine the way it is, but I really would like to do, upgrade the building since the tenant has moved out, so.
Okay.
So this isn't for Sugar Fire, correct?
No,
Okay.
it's, Sugar Fire is, the rooftop deck goes
Right.
with 514. Yeah.
Right.
It says Sugar.
I was
on top
wondering
of
how they
Sugar
were
Fire
gonna,
roof.
yeah, I was wondering how they were gonna get up there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a big 5-foot fire escape that goes out the back.
Oh.
But that's not for, for their entry, but it's just a
Right.
fire escape from that area. You can see the notch in the wall there, Joe, to my left, well, you're right.
I can see
Maybe
it.
your left, I guess, I don't know, I can't tell.
Right.
But there's a door there with a fire, it goes out, there's a big set of stairs that go down the back. So, but that's kind of our, proposal for that, so. And we're gonna probably leave some of the glass rail, he shows it with all of it gone, but the problem with the glass railing is it knocks out all the wind, all the air. So we probably would, where the new posts are going, we'll probably put black railing, but we'll probably leave some of the existing glass. Just to let more air movement through there, and then we can put some ceiling fans and stuff like that up in there. But,
Does anybody have any questions?
Nope. Looks great.
I like that you're reusing all that lumber.
I know, I had to move it from the other place. I'm like thinking of a use for it, so I have to move it again. So.
Might be cool to put a little sign up that says this is all from, MFA.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Running out of places to store stuff.
So we just do a motion to,
Yeah, first and second to approve.
I'll make a motion to issue the certificate of review.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. So 209 West 2nd Street, Dale?
Dale Gravy, owner, 209 West Sec.
So what are you doing?
Well, this is for the signage. The spa is partially open, the wellness center isn't, but we have our stylist in there and some of our tenants. And we want to do two signs. The existing post sign, we just want to use the existing sign that's already there from the US Bank and replace it with what I'm showing there. That one is an exact rendering of what we have down there. That sign is currently backlit. I was informed that we're not supposed to have backlit signs.
Correct.
Yeah, we want to backlight it, but we can just, right now it is backlit, but we can just leave that off. But we would like to backlight it. It is fogged acrylic, so it's not gonna be very bright. And in comparison, if you're standing on that corner compared to that neon Bank of Washington sign, it really doesn't, even backlit, you barely notice. I don't know if anybody's seen it at night, but
So you're saying the existing sign that is
it was
the exact-
always a backlit sign, even when it was US Bank.
Yeah, it was
always-
grandfathered in as US Bank, but
Right.
it would not be now.
They wouldn't accept it now. Okay. We're using the way it was, and we just put our sign up there, but we can just choose to leave that off, and not change anything about it except put our spa and wellness sign on there. If backlighting it is out, maybe we can add some ground lighting or something shining up to it and go that route
Yeah,
anyway.
you've seen anything
Go away
from
those.
gooseneck over the top, or you can,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, we can do that. If we're trying to get away from the backlit signs, we can light it from, the top or the bottom. Either way is fine.
And then your sec sign too?
Yeah, sign two, that one's identical to, here on Second Street. The sign says, I sent those pictures, I don't know if you
It's
have
the
any of
loft.
those.
It's a
Yeah.
halo lit sign at the loft.
The loft
The
and,
Cultural Arts
Cultural
Center.
Center, right. It's the letters are lit, the individual letters, and they're acrylic letters with an ABS black plastic over the front, so they do glow.
And they call them Halo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what they
That's-
call? That's a good name.
Yeah,
for it.
then, that's the,
Halo or Eclipse
right.
lighting, right? Yeah, so that's what we wanted to do where I'm showing sign two. And there we go. That's them right there where it says collective. I didn't even see that. Yeah. And that sign will read River Sirens Collective. The size of that where it says sign two above that window there.
That was in the packet,
Yes.
correct? Do you have that on?
I don't have it on this slide. It was in the packet.
I can show you, Rita.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, it's a little bit inaccurate what we're seeing at sign two, because you're showing a white background, but there's not gonna be
Yeah, I
a
didn't
background.
have
It's just
rendering.
gonna be siren, what's the name again?
River sign.
River Siren Collective.
River Siren Collective,
Collective, yes.
three lines.
The size I have there, I kind of just was trying to show the size of it there. It's not a real
Does that meet the
large.
And
percentage?
that's everything that was
Huh?
emailed.
Does that meet the percentage, I wonder?
Okay, which one?
That's
They
really,
have to
that's
check.
really not for us to,
To open
Yeah.
I mean, we could mention it, but I mean, that's what they check on with the zoning.
Sarah, you checked the percentage.
So we usually don't look at the size of the sign until after
Till
it goes
after
through
we-
historic preservation review.
Okay.
So I would then, once you approve the design, then I would check on the signs, the sign size. And I'm
I mean,
looking
it does seem
for-
pretty large,
Comparable one and comparable.
if
Okay.
my memory serves me correct, but just because it's 3 lines, but I don't know what the requirement is.
5% of building face area. Yeah, so that whole building face area would be part of that calculation, then the sign would be 5%.
5%, that's a
Yeah.
big percentage. It probably meets that.
So I
And
found,
you're going with different size letters, right? It's like 7, 10, 12, or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
we-
that, I think I put in there a diagram that has the actual measurements on each
Oh.
row.
I remember, I looked at it just a second ago.
Yeah. And that drawing shows the actual dimensions of the letters.
so if I can present this. otherwise it's not wanting to show up. Should you show film strip, maybe? No. Here, I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna copy it and put in the presentation. Give me a second. And then I have to
Oh,
wait for
really?
it to think.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what the setting is that doesn't allow you to see anything on my desktop. It only allows you to see a presentation in present mode.
Okay.
So,
There are different, you're right, though, there's different size letters.
Yeah,
Where the collective
I was
is
just curious to
smaller
see
letters.
what it'd look like on
Yeah.
the face of the building.
Did
Just
that
to see.
email come from Jamie or Sarah?
It did, Jamie. Yeah, it was one of the ones, I guess it was last week, maybe the week before.
okay, so this is really slow right now. Give me a second.
Everybody should come check out the
Oh.
spa. Grand opening's June 1st. All kinds of wellness stuff, red light, cryogenic. Does it take negative 240 degrees for 3 minutes? Supposed to, my wife knows all about it. It's supposed to be really good for you.
It is. So that's the what we currently have at the Heritage Lofts, the Cultural Arts Center.
That's where we
That's
get
the
the
same,
idea
that's the
from.
same type of sign? Are those ABS plastic as well?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
So no
Same
background,
material.
it's just letters directly on the building, correct?
letters directly on the building, no backboard, correct.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's where we got the idea. We really liked that when she put those up. We thought that looked really nice. So that's where we got
Yeah, I
the
mean,
idea
it's a
there.
decent looking sign.
And yeah, that picture that says the collective right there, that's the actual sign. That's a picture we took of it. We just laid it out on the AstroTurf. So, that's the actual sign. You can see it's more of a warm glow.
Warm white.
It's probably not near as bright
There
as
it is,
that, 'cause
yeah.
she's got a white light behind it. Ours is more of a warm color.
So small, bigger, bigger.
Yeah, 6, 10 inch, 12 inch.
Oh, good, you found it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny, if you can see it, yeah.
So are we voting on both signs, I guess, correct?
Yes. Yeah, it's all the signage for that building that so the pole sign, I would assume you're approving it as not backlit.
Correct.
And the building signs.
Yeah, sounds great.
I recall when, on the Second Street project, we had them agree to low amperage lighting behind. I don't know if that continued on with the rest of their signage they put up there. I mean, they kind of overloaded the building. But, so I guess, Dale, I
Yeah.
think one of the things, I recall that the amperage with the light was
Yeah.
low, so
Yeah.
it didn't shine out into the night, you know?
Yeah, this kind of lighting is something that we're everybody likes and we want to okay with going with, and we should probably have a maximum lumens or something. And I'd be happy to experiment with that, where we can try to turn them up and down and find that maximum. We're looking for just a warm glow. We're not looking for like a neon sign look. So,
Sarah, is that listed? I feel like we, forever and ever ago, we talked about lumens. Is that not in the code?
In the Historic Preservation Code?
Or just the
in the
signage?
Planning and Zoning Code?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a lighting component for our, in the zoning code. I don't have it on hand, like, I don't know what it is, but
Okay.
there is, a requirement that dictates how much light you can have coming off of that. Yeah, I
Okay.
can get that,
Thank you.
but.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll accept a motion.
I'll make a motion, move forward.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
thank you.
And then do we need to do the next two separately? So-
Oh, you can do that as a package deal. They're already voted on and passed. We're just putting it on record. So you're just voting to put it on record.
Okay, I accept a motion to put the next two.
I'll make that motion.
Media addresses.
Oh, the signs for Packy, or I'm sorry.
20 West Second and 416 Elm Street.
I make a motion, we approve 20 West Second, 416 Elm signs.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Joe, you had a question about, about the pole. Did they answer that correctly for you?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I thought they were gonna have the concrete base above the ground, but they're putting it below the
Okay.
ground. So,
Okay, so we have an update on 320 Jefferson Street?
Well,
John Patke bought the building last week Friday, so I would
Oh, good.
assume that it's safe that
Yeah.
they're gonna remodel. I don't think he's in the
Wonderful.
business of tearing them down.
No.
He started work on Friday just trying to clean the old water out, but that was an issue because it was very stagnant water, but he's working with, water department on that, but just so you know, it's not gonna be on the chopping block, so.
Great.
nice.
He told me he was
Yeah.
gonna do that.
He made it very clear he wanted to buy it for a long time, so I'm glad. I didn't know if the owners were willing to sell or not, so that's great.
I had a lot of phone calls from people asking, and it was still tied up in insurance, so I just
Yeah,
didn't,
good.
I didn't have any formal request for information, so
Great.
just told him it was tied up in insurance, and then the next thing I knew, he had it, so.
All right, so on to old business, potential grants. That one you sent today, that was really interesting on the historic restaurants.
Yeah, I didn't read through that whole thing, I just kind of skimmed over it.
Yeah,
I was
uh,
just surprised it looked like someone else was backing it, because I was like, didn't they just take all the money away and not fund what was already allotted? And then I saw that, I can't remember who it was, but somebody else was bankrolling that.
Yeah, so hopefully Tyler's gonna share that with our downtown restaurants.
Yes.
Yeah. Andy, I'll just make sure you know about that, so any of your tenants want to utilize it. It's a grant for historic restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, long-term restaurants and historic buildings.
I can forward that email to you.
Education and conferences, so how did last month go? I'm so sorry to miss you. All got your training in?
Yeah, no,
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 he didn't use a no-show.
no,
Oh,
oh, no, he didn't show up.
was that last month or the month
Yeah.
before? Yeah, he didn't show up.
that was
Didn't
last
show
one.
up.
yeah, Ethan didn't, so he's not with,
Chippo.
SHPO, thank you. I was gonna say historic preservation, but he's not with SHPO anymore. He's moved on to a job in Kansas City. And he was so busy with his house plans and everything that he totally missed, my email and my trying to communicate with him. And so he's, I'm so sorry. And so he's definitely moving on. And Andrew is taking over his role until they find a replacement. So Andrew did not reach out and say, I'll come and do some training.
Can we officially ask him? And he can say no, obviously, but
Yeah.
even
yeah.
if we could even Zoom him in, if he's unable to drive.
Yeah, so I
Actually
actually,
bummed. I wanted to, and I was ill, so I didn't make it, but
yeah, I completed the 2 half-day camp training this last Friday and this previous Friday. And there was a lot of good stuff that I got out of there. So when I get that material, I'm going to present it as something that we can do, maybe 30-minute session, because I have it broken out into some different topics.
Oh, that'd
So
be great.
That would be, yeah, definitely useful, because I got a lot out of it, so.
did they do one on Secretary of Interior standards?
No, they did. I know they focused on like infill, like how to do design review for infill, which I thought was really good for our area because we have a lot of empty lots, or some buildings that maybe be taken down or replaced, and so how to look at those design choices for the infill. So
Well, we've had plenty taken down. We have plenty
Yeah,
of surface
yes,
lots.
we do.
So
We
we
do.
can fill in the ones, but we don't want any more to go down.
Yeah, so, and there may be opportunities to convert some of these parking lots down the road with some nice infill development. So I thought that would be a good topic for the commission as those come down the line. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess Andrew had a list, right, He was here at a meeting I missed. Was he here last month that he
Yeah,
shared?
he sent, 2, maybe 3, addresses for curb appeal. I think he was asking for the commission for some feedback on what he'd sent. I know I responded. It was one of the buildings on Locust. I know there's 2 on Locust, but there was one in particular. I can't remember the address off the top of my head, but, I don't know how far he got with that. He did say that he was reaching out to get a quote for signs so that we could put some signs in the yard when they,
Do we not have
present
the
an
old
award.
signs? They
I don't,
went,
I've searched through our,
Carolyn thought she had them and she could not find them.
yeah.
oh, because Parks used to put them out for us, or Street, one of them. They would
Oh.
stick them in. I wonder if they're hanging out.
So you think they're in a different
We've looked-
department?
We've looked everywhere we could in our area.
It was
but
city staff that would actually stake them in the yards. I mean, this is going back about 5 years. I don't know what, if you guys didn't really do them after I left.
Carolyn said she kept it in her,
Yeah.
truck. I'll check. She's in P and Z after this, so I'll check with her and see if she ever found it.
Okay.
Last I heard, she had not.
I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
I know. It's been a
Yeah.
while.
It was a nice sturdy sign. It was metal, like it wasn't a
Flimsy,
corrugated
yeah.
plastic.
Reach out to Carolyn, maybe she.
Well, she's gonna ask her, yeah.
So I think also Andrew was, and I thought this was a conversation y'all were having, but having one of those signs that, that you could just let the homeowners keep, since it wouldn't be a very frequent award. So you would get the cheaper signs and then you would get presented to them and they would keep it.
Oh, okay.
So that was, I thought, part of our conversation, but either,
It was.
if it wasn't, yeah,
We
then it
talked
was
about
between
that.
me and him, and I said, yeah, I think, if you can get a good quote on those, we could keep a stockpile of them, and,
Okay, well, I'll reach out to, Andrew, and then I'll see where we're at, but if we could, go ahead and start kind of keeping track of these, even on the agenda, the addresses. I have one that I think should receive a curb appeal award, and that's 529 East Fifth Street. That is Hafner Wealth Management. It's that nice little brick building right before like the Dollar General parking lot on the north side. It looks, they've done a great job over the last
That's a
several
great
years, so.
yeah. And they just repaved too, their parking lot,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, they put a lot of money into that
they did.
little tiny awesome building, so I'd like to nominate them. And then I'll look through my email for Andrew's list. I'll chat with him and see where it's at. But,
Yeah.
so we think we're at, we just need to decide the signage and buy, and purchase it, and then make the appointments and
Yeah.
get the photos.
Get the signs, figure out who's getting the first award, and get out there, yeah.
Okay. And we have some money to buy the signs? Okay.
Yeah, we have a little bit of money, about $1,500 left.
Okay, and
So-
that takes us through September 30th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, October 1st, we'll get another set of 2, we're at 2,000 right now for our budget, so if we feel like we're gonna have some projects that we need to expand that pot, I can always ask for a little bit more. I think previously it was 4,
I think it was
maybe even
45.
4,500.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
right.
but we
4,500.
weren't using it, so.
I do want to look at, coming up with the budget, because next year, if I'm not mistaken, the National Alliance for Historic Preservation Commissions, they only have their conference every
Conference.
other year, and that is in '26.
Yeah.
I think it's in Milwaukee. So I
It is.
would certainly hope that you would want to go, and if one or two of us should go.
Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
been once before, and it was very, very good.
And then there's always the Main Street Conference. I know that's coming up in St. Charles, so that's an easy
July.
drive out there. Mhm.
Yeah.
So we could do that too.
Are you going to that already, Joe?
I am.
Yeah. I'll be there. Joe and I
I
are
don't-
already going.
I don't know if I'll be there the whole time, but I'll be there most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can pay for that too.
Do you go to those anymore?
Haven't.
I haven't, no.
It's
I'd like
been a-
to, but I can't
It's
get
been a
away.
while.
It's
Yeah.
been a while. Okay.
You know, for the budget too, we had talked about a few meetings ago designating all of the various districts with signage, which I think is another thing that would probably require a little bit more than what our old sign program required, just because of the type of signs.
Right. So Joe and I were just actually talking about that.
Yeah, Sarah had a good idea, actually, and I've thought about that over the last month, but I haven't put anything on paper yet, or what have you, but she had a good idea. It's like, I don't know these neighborhoods really well. I mean, I've driven them past them, but I never said, hey, this is the Tibby district, this is the Locust Street, you know, that we take some, I don't know.
A walking
It could be a
tour.
random time, it could be an afternoon, you know, like take an afternoon and just take whoever wants to come, just walk through some of these neighborhoods and take a look at them, get a feel for them, and maybe kind of pick out, hey, that'd be a great place for a sign right there. I mean, I think it's relatively, not obvious, but it's, you know, you look at a map and you say, well, you put one here and you put one here. But if you're walking it, I think you'll get a better feel for,
Yeah.
hey, that's a great place for a sign,
Especially
right
like the
there.
super residential areas, like Locust Street, I'm like, the school district would probably let us put one on theirs. more
Right.
Public property and not someone's
Right.
yard that they have to mow around.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But-
See, there's those considerations too.
That's a good
Do we have
idea,
enough right
though.
away to put it in there? Is it gonna be in someone's yard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea, because
So we could
everything
either,
looks
we could
differently
do,
when you're on the
we could do
street.
walk/drive, you know, depending on how good we were feeling, and then she had a good idea, we could stop at
A watering hole.
a watering hole afterwards.
There you go.
With Washington fashion, will fit just fine. Okay.
So anyway, it's on my mind, I just don't have anything on paper yet, and I thought that was a great idea for, like I said, we pick a day and say, whoever wants to come, take a
Yeah.
3 o'clock, walk
Sounds
around
good to
for an
me.
hour
Great.
or so,
Yeah.
and.
And they're all right
For me,
here.
it'd be nice to just see some of these old houses that I haven't seen that are on some of the side streets possibly, you know? 'Cause
Yeah,
there's a lot
and
of,
you know
there's a
what,
lot
I
of
can,
neat houses
I can
around.
also pick up the survey binders, so if you want to be like, you know, more about it, they're
Yeah.
nice, yeah, we can
Yeah.
maybe take Katie from the Historical Society along, too. Okay. Any other business tonight that you guys would like to talk about?
Tim Hepsel's spot will need to be replaced.
I saw the mayor just left. I know that there's an interested party that's reached out. Do you know,
I have not heard anything.
I haven't heard anything.
there's an interested party that's reached out.
I think we're
For what-
voting on it next
Are
week.
you
at the
voting on it already?
At the
So it's
council,
public?
I believe, I don't know.
Marlon Heidman. So she has asked to be, I think she'll be a
Oh,
wonderful commission
nice.
member, so.
Yeah.
will be on the council agenda for June 2nd.
June 2nd, okay. Is it just the one spot we need to fill?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, that's great.
Cool.
She'll be very active. As she says, she's retired now and looking for things to do, so we might give her some research projects over for us over at the museum. You know, continuing the, you know, seeing where we're at in the plaque program, she really enjoyed that, she said, so.
Hey, getting back to the curb appeal, do we want to limit it to mainly downtown area? Because I know Fifth Street's really not part of the downtown district, but you mentioned the place on Fifth Street.
Oh,
So,
I think we kept it pretty open as,
okay, so it could be someplace on the east of town if you wanted to, right?
yeah, as long as the building was, older than 50 years old, I think is what we
Gotcha.
said. Or was,
Okay.
yeah, older than 50 years old.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, we did decide to venture out a little further with that one,
okay.
outside of downtown, yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing too, I did have it on my list. I didn't make progress on it, but I do want to go ahead and nominate some of the city-owned properties that we talked about in the past several months for the local landmark designation. So hopefully next month I can come back and we can start that stuff as well.
I texted Wayne and he said he doesn't know anything about the signs. So, Wayne Dunker.
Oh,
So
okay.
it might not be their department.
Yeah, I was trying to remember who put it out, if it was, I thought it was Park. I feel like they always got asked for them.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I don't think it was street, but, I mean, it's almost 6 years since I've been around, so I don't know where they could have gone to in those years. They could have
Well,
gone.
he's only been here 6.5, so maybe he
Yeah.
doesn't know. I don't know.
It might need a refresh anyways.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean,
Yeah,
we don't want to put something out dingy and.
you know
sad
what?
looking.
I know that, I'm pretty sure the old logo, old city logo, the guy with the anvil is on them. So it'd be better to have the nice,
Yeah.
updated logo anyway.
Agreed.
So we don't want one anvil guy.
And
So-
if they're affordable and we can make several, so we can have them keep them, you know, I think it would be a nice way to say, hey, you did a fantastic job and here's your accolades, and you can keep that in your yard as long as you want. You just put a month
That
and
also relieves us
year
from
on there.
remembering to go pick them.
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah.
A win-win.
you know.
All right, any other points for discussion?
No, I'm glad to hear that we have a replacement, because we were wondering how that was gonna work out, so that's good.
Yeah, she reached out to me, gosh, forever ago, and I said, fill out the form.
Yeah.
So she filled it out. I know she spoke with the mayor, so that's great. All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Are we leaving these?
Okay, so that is an option, you can, or you can take it with you. I will just
I will
leave.
lose it.
Yeah, I will leave,
No, I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here.
you know, a packet.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So those-
That way we can go back.
This is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those of you that took their binders with them, there is the